Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatsMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. So today we are going right to the top of the Steam weekly charts, and the best performing map of the moment is this one. We've done this creator twice in the past. We did them in episode 401 and 437, and they've got something to the sevens about them. In 401 they had 77 peaks, and that got 7 stars. It was virtually unplayable, mind you. And then in 437 they had 7 islands, which also got 7 stars, but had 3 for playability. Now if you like playability, it's time to show your appreciation. That's right, hitting the like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day, so thank you very much. Right, let's have a look at 7 Steps by Zanzarix. Well, if you got a trademark, you may as well use it, and Zanzarix definitely likes the number 7. I will promise you we will do better than 7 stars today though. There is the start square. You may notice something lacking. We will get back to that. There are your resources. The resources a little bit meager, but if you're in that valley, definitely usable. And then off to the workshop. We have the Norfolk Island Pine, the Surface Rock Pack and the Clayra theme. We will be using the Realistic V 1.2 LUT. And tell from the description, there's not an awful lot to say. Certainly no pre-instructions about the map. Now, those who've been following the show will know I've had some trouble switching the fog off. Well, I've managed to switch the fog off. I think it was post-process FX, the mod there, I think, that was causing it. But anyway, it's now switched off, which is great, until the end of the month when I've got to switch it back on again for reasons that I can't talk about. I hate this. Anyway, highways, they look pretty slick, and if you're liking this slick highway going through the hills, you wait until you see the view we're going to get in a minute. It's glorious. In fact, the best thing about this map is this glorious view that you're going to get in a minute. Now, we're going from ground-based to elevated. Why? Well, we've got a bit of a viaduct here, big old viaduct actually. I don't mind the trees underneath this one. I know people say, well, you normally complain about trees underneath. Well, it's high enough that viaduct for the trees to get the light that they need. As long as it's not clipping through the highway, I don't mind. And they certainly will get enough rainwater as well. It's not all about, you know, I'm not saying never, ever, ever put trees under viaducts or bridges. Just where it works, and where it doesn't. For me, it doesn't. This one, this is fine. I'm okay with that. Bit of a slope on the viaduct, but it's not dropping like a brick, so that is fine also. And we are now bearing off, heading towards this great view. Now, there are Grand Canyon maps on the workshop, but none has a view as good as this one. Very nice indeed. Thank you very much, Zanzarix. It's almost breathtaking. Almost. Now, the networking isn't quite up to the standard of view. Like, we've gotten elevated with the road here. I don't know why we are elevated. There's no real definable reason for me. I think they would have just terraformed this. It's not too steep. It is steep, but it's not too steep to have one long road like this. I mean, you're talking about going over several kilometres on the crawl. Now, we've got our viaduct section here, which I'm okay with. I am okay with that. That makes all kinds of sense there. I'd still like to see a more forgiving journey up the hill than that straight line, but it's not the worst, and I'm prepared to accept that somebody's going to send me a picture of something somewhere on Google Earth where it's steeper and longer than that. So hey. Now this bridge is fine. It's got a nice little twist to it. Quite like it. It's nice and low without being too low. Have a little look at the water flow here though. It's a little bit shallow. We'll come back and check and see if that has sorted itself out a little bit later on. And then we get down to, it's not the start square intersection. We're actually going to come back to this location. We are going to follow that highway off to the edge of the map. We've got a little bit of glitching with the road merge going on there. It's not the worst, but it is glitching, and I have to point it out. So we're going to be heading up that slightly steep looking hill in a minute. But before we go in that direction, we need to head down towards the start square. Now, you may notice there is definitely a lack of water flow in the start square. Yes, if you're playing vanilla, this is going to be a bit of a problem for you. I'll talk more about that in a moment. Here's your start square intersection. It's not too bad. We've got a little bit of glitching on the way in, a little bit of glitching here as well, and no glitching over on this little side road here that's magically appeared. It's the Thai Tropical Contemporary and Modern House, Volume 1 by Armsplams. I am loving Armsplams' work, and there's a building at the moment that I love. This one. I love this one. I'm going to have that one. I'm going to live in it. It's probably too big for one person on their own, but hey, you're all welcome to pop round. Factoids. Because factoids, let's have two, shall we? Why not? The English pamphleteer, William Prine, had his ears cut off. We're still on cutting off parts of the body, Sky. For his inflammatory publications. And cut them off, slash them off. And at the time of publishing this book, it may have changed since, given it's like 30 years or whatever. It was illegal to hunt camels in Arizona. I didn't even know they roamed the wilds of Arizona, but there you go. Anyway, Thai Contemporary and Modern House, Volume 1 by Armsplams. I love them. I love them. I love them. Today's assets of the day. Right, let's head back 7 Steps by Zanzarix. Let's head back towards that intersection and head off up the slightly steep looking hill, slightly scary looking hill. If I'm honest with you, steep and scary. Little bear around here. Now this is for me a little bit too steep. I would have definitely done some kind of switchbacks going on here. And also look, the roads are still elevated even though we are at ground level. And again, this just feels like Zanzarix has taken, I know, the cheap and easy route up here. At least we haven't got any blue mantle, and that is something positive to say. I always try and find something nice to say, and I found something nice to say there. No blue mantle. Heading up here, still elevated, and now elevated across this little section here. And did you see it? Yeah, we have got that stray tree underneath the highway that I was talking about earlier. That's a fail as well. So elevated and elevated even at ground level as we head off towards, oh no, elevation here is fine, off towards the edge of the map. So let's have a look at the rail. We have some rail, you know. And now the rail comes in here. Now ignore this little bit of rail we see here, right? I'm prepared to forgive this because this is kind of like just an entry point for the rail. What we have then is a massive drop off from the edge of the map. So consider that hidden in the fog there. And it drops off to get down to ground level down in here, down in the valley. And that's a little on the steep side. So I'm just going to pretend that this tunnel emerges or comes in from somewhere more sensible, right, off of the map. But I have a big problem with this. And that is not that it's climbed, but that you can see that it climbs. You can really see that it climbs badly. Have you got rubber trains going on in 7 Steps? I don't know. Anyway, the bendy train. Like we have bendy buses. Why not bendy trains? Anyway, this then wends its round to the, well, just short of the start square, which means we can have a little intermission. You fancy an intermission? Have you seen this one?
Do you have trouble building on steep hills? Do your buildings continually glitch into or out of the ground? Then you need the Beginner's Guide to Building on Steep Hills by BonBonB. Click the information button now.
And so back to the shipping and air routes at 7 Steps by Zanzarix. We do have an air route running right away across the map. We also have a shipping route, but it's, well, I would say don't bother with shipping on this map. It kind of dead ends right here off of the 25 tiles. And there is an essential lighthouse. We're going to ignore the essential lighthouse today. It's literally on the edge of the map. And to be honest with you, it isn't a very good one. Okay, let's have a look. Now, what I like about this map, the terrain work is excellent. And I think the Clara theme brings out these cliffs beautifully. I'm loving it. Not just the cliffs though, we have got some landslides going on. And they are so realistic, like this one here. You can actually feel the soil coming down that mountain. It looks like it's ready to slip at any point. I'm loving the terrain work there. That is excellent work. Zanzarix, take a bow for that. There's another landslide we'll have a look at in a minute. It looks more stable, like it's been settled for a while. I want to tell you, while we're talking about clay, I have trouble, I said it many times, with the colours and picking out the land from the trees. I find that just a little bit too ill-defined, I would say. But I'm not marking the map down because I have trouble with colours, because I know some of you go, no, it's beautiful. Right, so yes, we also, landslide over here as well. This looks more settled, like it's been in place for a while. I think it's good work. So, the rivers. Now, remember, there is no river, no water in the start square whatsoever. So that's already a problem. Here we have got the river that feeds its way down into the canyon. And if you can hear any traffic in the background, I'm sorry. My new mic picks up all of the rumbles and there is a lot of traffic at this very moment. Thank you, guys. But yes, imagine the water flowing down here. It looks like soft, fertile land. It would pick up soil. It would drop soil. We would have at least a defined river bed with some sort of banks going on. What we've got here, it barely looks like it's controlled at all. It is controlled, but only just. We've got a slight overflow going on here. That's a permanent thing. Now, I have let this map run for a while, and the river has been running for quite some time, on high speed actually. And we have got a couple of gaps in the river, and it seems to be an ongoing thing because we had this when I loaded the map as well. I gave it a chance to sort itself out, and we still haven't. The river looks good down here. This looks pretty solid. And then we have a really nice looking waterfall here. Realistic feel to it as well. Excellent. As we hit the bottom of the waterfall, the water splurges out a little bit, but the trees are holding back, kind of like that. But then as we get to the flyover, the bridge here, it's still really shallow. And what we've got here is a lack of water or a lack of control of the water that we have, causing that to be too shallow. It does come back together here, and this shows that it's just needs a little bit more work on the rivers. Here, hardly any water at all. And then here we've got a splurge of water. Now maybe if we switch on the water spawn points, we can have a little look and see what's going on. And here we have got, here's your splurge of water. Maybe that water spawn point's too powerful, maybe it's not quite in the right position, but it just doesn't look right. Don't mind this water spawn point at the bottom of the waterfall, gives the water a boost there. Also one at the top as well, gives it a little boost there where it's needed. And if we go up the river, we've got one or two dotted around as we go up. But if we come up here, like this one here, again, we've got a splurge of water going on here, and it is because of that spawn point. It's a little bit frustrating. Water is definitely, I think, a bit of a problem for Zanzarix, especially with none in the start square. What's going on there? We'll talk more about that in a moment. When I get to the ratings, I'll talk about that one. We do have a castle right on the edge of the precipice. And doesn't do anything for me, but it's not a bad thing. It's okay. It's fine. Got the cemetery up here. That's okay. It's fine. But if you like temples, if you like shrines, how about a shrine to the car gods, huh? There's a shrine to the car gods somewhere. Let me find it. Here it is. This is what I think it is. My interpretation of this. So we head up here. It's run down, so something's been working a track up here, and then we get up here, we have the abandoned cars, and they are worshipping. They're worshipping the shrine in front of them. That's what I'm making out here anyway. I don't know what to make of this, to be honest with you. It doesn't do anything for me. It's also not awful. It's a bit different. It's nice to see somebody do something a bit different, and that's what that is. And these cars are worshipping, except for two of the cars are facing the wrong way. And yes, move it time. We'll grab a car, we'll give it a spin. There you go. If you're going to worship, you've got to face the shrine, for goodness sakes. And there we are. So we have cars facing the right way. So what do you think? What do you think of this map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the viewer's choice top 10. Will this be one of the best 10 maps of the month? Well, it's your choice that matters. It's your vote that matters. My opinion is as follows. Okay. So aesthetically, I kind of like it. I think it looks pretty realistic. Even with the Clara thing going on, I'm okay. I'm going to give it 4 stars for aesthetics. For detail, I want to give it 3 stars, but we have got a few glitchy bits, and I think the highways need relaying. I've got to bring it down to 2 stars for detail. For gameplay potential, right, let's say you're vanilla. Let's say you don't have any custom sewage assets. Let's say you go to the workshop, you go, oh, I like look at this map. Great, lovely, you subscribe to it. You spend 10 minutes waiting for your potato to load the game up, and then you can't put your sewage anywhere in the start square. Sorry, unplayable in that case. And I've got to go with that. I have got to go with that. If this was anybody else, this would be exactly the same. It's 1 star for gameplay. That's 7 stars all around. I said we were going to do better than 7 stars today. I'm sorry, I lied. Oh, I kept you hanging around. But what we can do though is we can play this map up a little bit. Don't go away just yet. Don't go away just yet. Let's raise the water level. Let's raise the sea level and fill the canyon up and see what it looks like as a map with a raised sea level. I think that's the way to go. Okay, the cars that are down there making their way from point A to point B aren't going to be too happy, but that's not that's not what we're here for. Now, come on, game. There we go. Here comes the water. 1 raised water level. Now, what do you make of the map? Now, it's changed entirely. Instead of playing entirely in the canyon, sorry cars, I'm so sorry. Oh, look at them. Oh, you poor fellows. See, that's what we were looking at. And then we come up here, up above water level. And but yes, now we have the 2 banks of this great big canyon, this great big divide to build on. And I think it looks pretty good. So maybe you can like do some terrain work on this and yeah, maybe have a different start square. I don't know, it's up to you. Hey, I'm just here to advise. Anyway, so that's 7 Steps by Zanzarix. That is, I think, a mildly disappointing map, considering how good it looks. And it's #1 in the Steam charts, which tells you just how useful the Steam charts are at the moment. Well, there you go. Thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking, and for subscribing. Join me tomorrow for another map in the What's Map series. It's a request map tomorrow. Today's map was requested as well, actually, but I was going to do it anyway, so hey, what gives, eh? There's an old map on the screen now if you want to go and have a little vote on that one. Vote only went on this morning, so you may be the first over there. And of course, there's a Steam Weekly Chart show to catch up on as well, and all sorts of other stuff. I can't keep up with it all. Hope you had a great Easter, and I'll see you very, very soon.